All right, let's talk about blockchain for business. There's so much hype out there, right? Today, we're going to cut right through all that noise. We're going to give you a super practical framework to help you avoid some really expensive mistakes and, more importantly, to spot the real opportunities for your company. Let's dive in.
So, you're probably asking yourself the big question, is this blockchain thing actually the right move for my business? And just so we're all on the same page, we are not talking about crypto or NFTs today. Nope. We're focused on the real world, on the nuts and bolts of business-to-business operations. And here's the thing. Most companies, they're getting this completely wrong. You've got one group of people just waving it off as hype, not even looking at it. And then you have the other group trying to jam it into every single problem they see. Both of those approaches are, frankly, a recipe for disaster.
And you know what? These mistakes almost always come from the same place, a really basic misunderstanding of what blockchain is actually built for. So let's just clear the air on that right now.
Okay, the number one myth, the biggest mistake people make, is thinking of blockchain as just a better, more secure database. It is not that. Honestly, if that's your starting point, you're already on the completely wrong track.
Which brings us right to mistake number one, treating blockchain like it's some kind of database. Let me show you exactly why that's such a flawed way to look at it. Just look at this comparison. It's pretty stark, right? When you're just looking at speed and cost for a single company, a traditional database wins, hands down. It's fast, it's cheap, it's efficient. Blockchain, for that same job, is slow and expensive. It's like using a sledgehammer to hang a picture frame. It's just the wrong tool for the job.
So if it's not a great database, what is it? Well, its real magic, its true value, is as a coordination layer. It's for getting different companies who don't necessarily trust each other to all agree on the same set of facts. Think about a supply chain. You've got the factory, the shipping company, the retailer. None of them want one single entity controlling all the data. That is the sweet spot for blockchain. And this leads us right to the first and maybe most important question you have to ask yourself. Do I have multiple independent companies who all need to see and trust the exact same data? If your answer is no, well, you can probably stop right here. You don't need blockchain. But if it's a yes, okay, then we're onto something.
Okay, so let's say you got a yes for that first question. You do have a multi-party problem. Fantastic. But hold on, because that brings us straight to mistake number two, completely ignoring the gigantic, hidden costs of integration. This is where the shiny new tech dream meets a very harsh reality.
I mean, think about it. You can have the most brilliant technology in the world, but if nobody can actually use it, it's worthless. We're not just talking about buying some software here. We're talking about tearing out legacy systems that have been running your business for decades, retraining your entire team, and then you have to convince all your business partners to do the exact same thing. For most companies, that's a total non-starter.
So, here's question number two, and it's a big one. Is the pain worth the gain? Right? Is the enormous cost and disruption of this integration actually going to deliver proportional value? Look, any sane project needs a realistic way to ease into it. If the only plan is rip and replace everything, your return on investment is probably, well, it's just not there.
All right, let's move on to the third big pitfall, and this one's a real head-scratcher, especially for businesses. I call it the privacy paradox. It's this fundamental tension between blockchain's biggest selling point, transparency, and something every business absolutely needs, confidentiality. And it's a really critical mistake to think that transparency means you have to have zero privacy. I mean, come on, businesses are built on secrets. You've got confidential pricing, private contract details. The idea of plastering all of that on some open record sounds insane, right? But here's the thing, it's not an all-or-nothing game. And this is where the tech gets really cool. Modern blockchains have some incredibly clever solutions for this, like something called a zero-knowledge proof. The best way to think about it is like this. Imagine I can prove to you that I have the key to a locked box without ever showing you the key. It's cryptographic magic. You get to verify that yes, a payment was sent or a contract condition was met without seeing any of the private details. You get the trust and the privacy. So the question you need to ask isn't, do I have to sacrifice my privacy? Because the answer is a flat no. The real question is, does this specific blockchain solution I'm looking at have the right tools to give me that verification while also protecting the secrets my business depends on? That's a critical distinction. Okay, so we've walked through the three biggest mistakes people make. Now let's put it all together. Let's build a smart, simple framework you can actually use to make a good decision for your own business. Here we go.
It's the four-question test. Number 1, multiple parties. Is this a problem of trust between different organizations? Number 2, integration cost. Can we actually do this without bankrupting ourselves, or is the path forward just a fantasy? Number 3, confidentiality. Can we get the verification we need without spilling our trade secrets? And number 4, this is the big one. Is this a real problem? Does this solve something that our current technology just can't? You have to be brutally honest here. You need a solid yes for all 4 of these to even consider moving forward.
So after all that analysis, when you strip everything else away, what's the real bottom line here?
It's this simple. Your goal is never, ever to use blockchain. That's just a solution looking for a problem. Your goal is to solve a real-world business problem. Blockchain is just a tool in the toolbox. That's it. And it's a very specialized tool for a very specific job. You have to always start with the problem you're trying to solve, not the shiny new tech you want to use.
And that really leaves us with one final question for you to take away. Before you get wrapped up in all the jargon and all the hype, I want you to just step back and ask yourself this one simple thing. Because if you can answer this honestly, you will always find the right answer for your business, whether that has anything to do with blockchain or not.